We leave the body in the tunnel, and I try not to imagine my father lying there, alone and rotting away. My hands skim the rough stone walls of the tunnel, and I dodge worried glances from Alida and Treagle, flinching away from the flickering flames in their hands. Both of them fire torchers. They light our way through dust and dirt. I don't go too near them. I can't. Not right now. The memory of fire consuming the room around me while trapped inside with a madwoman who wanted me dead is too fresh. The air is thick as we descend beneath the castle. We're quiet, partly to avoid detection by the guards, who are surely still tearing the halls apart in their quest to find us. Our footsteps echo softly in the dark, scratching along the smooth stone ground. I'm silent for a different reason. I don't trust that when my mouth opens, a sob won't escape. Dragging myself away from Da, leaving him behind like yesterday's trash, the knife wound in his chest caked with dried blood. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done. My eyes sting with the salt left behind by tears, but I force my mouth to settle into an emotionless line. Da's not all I left behind. 2 sets of gray eyes haunt my thoughts. Prince Caden came back for us after the initial search died down, arms laden with clothes, sacks of food, a bit of coin, and jewels for trade. My eyes met his for the scantest of seconds before I had to look away. Come with us, a distant part of me implored. My hand was still warm from the knife he'd pressed into it when we took shelter in the hidden tunnel. Stay away from me. The other part of me, the louder part, snarled. My first instinct about Caden when I'd met him in a jail cell had been right. His sort courts trouble, whether or not they mean to. Maybe Caden saw some of that tumult in me, because his voice was soft when he spoke. "Look for the South Turkey pub," he instructed. I kept my eyes locked on a shadow that Alida's flames sent dancing against the wall. "It's a bit of a hole in the wall, but the barkeep there's a good man. Clift, tell him..." He hesitated. "Tell him Rick sent you." Rick? He wants us to use his alias? My eyes snapped to his. I thought it was a joke, told to me in those first moments in the cell with Da, to pretend away his problems as the crown prince. With my eyes on his, it was like he couldn't help himself. He reached toward me until I shrank away. The small movement was enough. His hand fell back to his side, and he left with the facsimile of a smile, wishing us well. "Be safe, Bree." I trudge on, the echo of his voice melding with the cacophony of flames in my memory. The other set of gray eyes that press into me belongs to Caden's father, King Langdon of Egria. My fist clenches, nails digging into my palm. The king waits in his comfortable throne room as he sets to conquer any nations he can get his greedy hands on. My vengeance waits with him. I have one small comfort, that the king's minion, Lady Catherine, is gone. She'd signed her own death warrant when she'd murdered Da in front of me. I'd funneled my rage into my new water-throwing abilities, and liquid had filled Catherine's lungs, until she fell. She didn't rise again. I feel no remorse for leaving her body behind. I only regret that I didn't take the time to spit on it. Catherine may be removed from power, but the king is safely cocooned in his palace. Part of me, the raw, gaping wound that screams for retribution, wants to surge back inside, hurling waves at whoever dares to get in my way. But for now, I march on and build a dam against the emotions.